Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Darren, the delivery driver, also known as Abdul Muhsin. And on this channel, I give you the tips, tricks, and the inside scoop to make you the most profitable driver. If you like making money, being on the road, and a path to financial freedom, then join the delivery squad by hitting the like button, smashing the subscribe, leaving your comments down below, and turning on your bell notification. In this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you how you can file your taxes with Untied. A step-by-step how-to guide to file your taxes. All right, guys, so now we're going to start this video. Here who we have Paul from Untied, and he's going to go over literally every step that you need to know so that you can file your taxes. So we're going to jump right into it, right?
Great. Thanks very much, Darren, and thanks for having me on the channel. We're going to try and do it as quickly as possible so we can show people how simple it is to use Untied to file their taxes. And I know you've already done it, so we're going to go through a demo today, and feel free to ask any questions as we go along, Darren, okay? So I'm going to just share my screen. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see it nice and clearly, yeah?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So I think the first thing to bear in mind when you come into Untied is that you need to make sure that you're in the right tax year. And the tax year runs from the 6th of April, 1 year, to the 5th of April, the following year. Yeah. Here you can see I'm in this tax year, 2021 to 2022, which finishes on the 5th of April. But the tax return that I need to do is always for the last tax year. So by clicking up here, I can make sure that I'm in the right tax year for the tax return that I'm actually doing. And this is the one that we're going to be focusing on today. So really important that if you're doing your tax return, you just make sure that you're doing the transactions for the last tax year. Okay?
Yes.
So you can see that there's a lot of transactions in here, and I haven't claimed any of these transactions at all. So what I've done is I've linked these to my bank account. I've pulled them in from my bank account, and I've also added some transactions that show as cash transactions because they're not linked to my account. If you look at this year, tax year, you'll be able to see as we go down here a number of transactions as well that we've got kind of all there. If you look at my accounts, you see I've connected Monzo, Barclays, and Revolut.
Yes.
And it's really easy to do this. It's very secure. It uses a technology called open banking. You just click on add account at the top. You select your bank, and we have loads of banks that we're partnering with to bring the transactions in. And once you've selected a bank, let's say it's Santander, you click add account. We'll tell you what transactions and what information we're going to be sharing from Santander. You click OK, and you go through to Santander's banking site where you'll log in, tell them that it's okay to share accounts and data with Untied. We don't have any access to the account. We just bring the information in, so we can't make payments from the account, of course. And you just log in and then go through the process very quickly. It's like 2 or 3 steps, and then you come back to Untied, and the transactions will then pull in into Untied, so you can see them all in here. Okay, so here you can see Barclays, Monzo, Revolut are all connected on there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go back to last tax year, as I was saying, because we're going to be doing those that tax return. Now there's a lot of transactions here, of course, so we need to kind of determine which ones are your business income. So if you're a delivery driver, which ones, for example, have come from Deliveroo and Just Eat, as 2 examples. We'll look at that. And what are your expenses too? So we'll start with that. Now the easiest way to do that, and there are several ways actually to be able to do that. If you want to find all the income, first of all, you can click on money filter at the top and just look at all the money that's come in. So now you'll see everything that's come into your account. And you can see there's still a lot of money kind of coming into the account for various reasons, for example. So I need to find really the Deliveroo money that's come in, my income from Deliveroo and everything else. So what I can do is I can search for it. So I know that the Deliveroo ones normally come in as Roo Foods. So, for
Yeah.
example, I've got some other ones here that come in just from Deliveroo. Now, I know that all of those, and this one have come in the last tax year. I know all of those are business income for me. So what I'll do is I just click on the button at the top here. I click select tag and business income, and I tag them all at 100%. So all of the money that's come in is business income, and then I click tag. And straight away, those are all tagged as business transactions. And you can see at the top, the income now has updated. So now the total of that was £5,168.54. And it's going to start calculating what my tax estimate is. Now, at the moment, I'm below the threshold of paying any tax with that income.
And what is that threshold for those who don't know?
So there's two types of tax. There's national insurance, and the threshold for that is just over £6,000 before you start paying national insurance.
Yes.
And then there is income tax, and everybody gets a personal allowance for income tax, which is just over £12,500.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
if you earn below that, you still need to do a tax return if you earn more than £1,000, but it doesn't mean you're going to have to pay tax, but you still need to do a tax return. So if you're earning anything over £1,000, you must do a tax return by the deadline.
Okay. All right. So what happens if you need to do expenses?
Yes. So I'm going to put a couple of other things in here for
Just Eat.
Yeah. So I've just got a couple of Just Eat ones here. So that builds my income up now at 7,000. Okay. So if there are other types as well. We've got some things, for example, if here I'm renting out a room, I might kind of tick these as rental property income. So if, for example, we have an Airbnb host, for example, we can mark that as rental property. And now you see I've gone up and I'm nearly at the threshold.
You're almost there.
Let's see if I can kind of if I just pick one. And again, if you click on the top of the column, you can actually sort these in order. So let's kind of pick this furniture one here. This might be like, let's say, my employer, or let's say it's business income too. Yeah, it's gone through, and now suddenly, you start to see the tax estimate going up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you start to see kind of how much tax you need to pay. And again, if I clicked a few more of these, I can again see the tax estimate starting to move up.
Yeah, an example, like if, say, for example, someone got the self-employment income scheme grant, they would have to click that as well, right?
So I'm going to cover that too. So hold that thought, because those are also mainly taxable depending on what they are. But I'll show you how to do that really easily if you've got the SEISS grant. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what we've got in terms of COVID support. So a lot of self-employed, a lot of delivery drivers and riders got some help during the pandemic in the form of an SEISS, a self-employment income support scheme grant. And it's really important whether that you know how to deal with that on your tax return. So we built this checklist in terms of all of the different support that you may have got. And if you go through this checklist, you'll know what you need to do to actually put this on your tax return. And some things do need to go on your tax return and some things don't. Yeah, okay. But HMRC knows what was paid out, so it's part of the checks that they do. So here, for example, if you received an SEISS grant, this is taxable income, and it should be tagged as SEISS COVID grant income. Now, you asked about expenses.
Yeah, right? Expenses.
So expenses work in the same way. So let's say I buy all my expenses. I buy my bike lights, my tires for my bike, or let's say I buy a video, because I'm a YouTuber like Darren, and I'm buying something whether that's relevant to my job, and I need whether like flashlights or new lights for my bike, for example, on there too. So let's say I buy those on Amazon. Let me look at Amazon. Do that again. There we go. So there's a couple of things that I've bought on Amazon, for example, and I can tag those now as business expense. So in the same way I did for business income, I tag those for business expense. Now, the great thing about this also is you should keep receipts. You don't have to use them and give them to HMRC, but you do need to keep a record. With Untied, you can actually upload a receipt in the transaction. So what I did there was I just clicked on the little pen at the end. You can also double click here and open this box up. And then if you have an image, you can paste it in here, or you can browse if you've got it saved on your computer or your phone, and you can, like if you've got it in your photos, and you can just upload it straight away, and then you just click save, and it saves the receipt there. So I've done a few expenses on here. Now you can see it building up. The purple are the expenses, the income is in green, and you can see again, the total always showing kind of what my income, expenses, and taxes at the top. Now, if I got journeys, so journeys is something I was talking about before, which is mileage. So mileage, you can claim a certain amount that's approved by HMRC for your journeys as expenses. But with Untied, you can actually log those automatically with your mobile app, or the Untied mobile app. So you leave that in the car, carry it on your person, and we can log those journeys automatically, and then you just tag them depending on whether they're business or personal. So we're going to do that here in the browser. So if I say this one, let's say that one, this one, and these ones, right? So let's say these 4 were business journeys. I can click into one of those, and I can see a map of those. If I'm not sure, was that business journey? Oh yes, I went from here to here, and that was 29.8 miles. And I can describe that. I can add that kind of, let's say, let's kind of call that delivery journey spell, and I can claim that journey automatically. Right? So I did that one by one, or I can do what I did before, was just pick all 4 and just click claim, and now all of those are claimed. So you can see at the top it's gone. I've now claimed 118 miles, which is worth £53.55 in terms of value that's to claim. Okay. So now that will have updated my expenses up here too.
Yeah, isn't there another way that you can enter it in as well?
Yeah, that's right. There's a manual way. So these are journeys that have been logged on my mobile automatically. But if a journey hasn't been logged, or for example, you're new to Untied and you haven't been using the Untied mobile app throughout the year or last year, the easiest way to do that for mileage is to click on these 3 lines here and click add a journey. And I'll show you how to do that. So the journey is added on the last day of the tax year. It doesn't really matter too much about what day, as long as it's in the right tax year. So we automatically, because you're in last tax year, we automatically add the journey right up at the last minute on there too. Now, you don't have to add every single journey that you ever did if you've been delivering food. You just need to add your mileage, etc. So the way to do that in one go here is just to say, right, mileage for the year as a description. We can actually just, I think, go through. Let's say you did 3,000 miles. Okay, we can add that as one journey. Okay, so now you can see the transaction gone in there. It's automatically claimed the 3,000 miles, and now the value that I've claimed back is £1,403 of expenses, and you can see it's updated here too.
Perfect. So, all right. So we've gone over income, expenses, transactions, how to hook our bank up to it. We've gone over how to track the journeys and claim them and insert them manually. So once I've done all of that, if like, say I'm new to Untied and I do it that way, and I want to start using it now with the intent for the next tax year, how can I set some rules to just make this easier for me?
What we can do is set up a rule so it looks for things in the future. Because whilst I tag those transactions, if I forward to this tax year, and I search for the Roo transactions this year, none of those are tagged yet. None of them have business income, right? So I can easily just do what I did before, was tag them as business income, like this. I could do that. Now, the other way to do that is by setting up rules. So let's go into the rules tab here.
Yeah.
Really easily add a rule. So when I can say when my account is any one of these, so I'm going to say when the account is any and the transaction is an income transaction, so it's money coming in, and the description, and I use here contains. So this one I'm going to put, let's say, Roo, on there too. So we're going to claim all those and tag them as business income, 100% of the transaction. So we're not splitting the transaction. I'll talk about that in a second. And then we can do that going forward for all the new ones that come in, or I can change it to apply it to the existing untagged transactions in the current year. So let me do that and you'll see what kind of happens. I'm going to click on the button below. And if I do that, now we've set up the rule. So any account where the transaction is income and the description contains Roo, then tag it as business income. Great. So if I go back into transactions and I look at this tax year, you'll see this tax year now I've got £8,000 of income.
Perfect.
And that's because if I click on find Roo now, all of those transactions have automatically now been tagged because there's a rule set up. And the next time that a Roo Foods income transaction comes in, it will automatically be tagged and you don't have to do anything about it. Now, if I had employment and I was working also, I think this is important to know here. So if you've got employment, your employer will give you a P60, normally around April, May, June time after the tax year ends. And you'll need that to enter the information on there too. So I've ticked the box here. I've entered the information here about my employer. I've clicked save, and up the top here, my income and my taxes are already sorted. So if I go to the tax breakdown, you'll see my employment salary is now included in my complete breakdown. So next thing to do kind of here is tax filing. Now you see I haven't filed anything, so there's no rows to show here. Very easily, again, with Untied to do this, you click File, Return. There are two ways. Click on here, I'll show you. You can file using your HMRC account. So if you've got an online account with HMRC, which is the government gateway login, they'll have sent you a username and password, and you can file using that. But if you haven't got one, don't worry about that. The easiest way then is to file with Untied using Express Submit. So we click OK, and to file with Express Submit. So the first thing we've got is file test submission in the tick boxes is ticked here. Now what that does is a test in live submission to HMRC. It makes sure that the process is going to work, that your filing, your tax return is going to be accepted by HMRC if you were going to file for real. And it makes sure that you've completed the tax return correctly, that there aren't any boxes missing, there isn't any information that kind of is incorrect, and we can show you how to do that too. You want to check the box to declare that everything is correct, and then you would click submit. And once it comes back that it's okay, you can untick the box and then file for real.
Okay, perfect.
What happens is that HMRC will give you a reply and a response within a few seconds. They'll also give you a reference number called an IR mark. That's really important. That's your proof that you've submitted your tax return. We also email that to you. And then HMRC will also email you to say that they've accepted the tax return. And then they'll send you a bill if you owe tax and tell you how much is owed. And then if you need to pay HMRC anything, you can click on Pay HMRC, and then you can, in the same way that we looked at paying accounts, if you've got a bank, you can select your bank account, you can select how much you need to pay HMRC, and then we'll take you through the process to actually pay HMRC directly without you having to worry about what HMRC's bank details are. We'll do it all for you behind the scenes.
Okay, perfect. So I've received a letter maybe about, I think last week I received a letter. So with that letter and that amount, I can just come back onto the app and pay it from here.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Really,
that's
easily.
really awesome.
Yeah, really simple and secure. We just make sure that the money goes to the right place. And the most important thing here, and we didn't mention it before, but I want to kind of talk about it just a little bit, is this unique taxpayer reference. Okay. This is the number that HMRC use to match you up with your tax return. It's a unique number that they send to you when you've registered with HMRC. And if you haven't registered with HMRC for self-assessment and you don't have a unique taxpayer reference, then people can get in touch with us and we'll help them do that. It's all part of the service. So if you're an untied subscriber, we will make sure that you registered with self-assessment, get a UTR, and it's all included in as part of untied subscription.
Yeah, and if you want to get a discount on that subscription, the link is in the description.
Good plug in, yes. Yeah. So we're happy to provide a discount for all the Darren the Delivery Driver channel subscribers.
Yes, guys.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that everything?
I think that was everything. The important thing also is not to worry about it. Don't stress about your tax return. We are here to help. We have a great team that are on hand to help. In the app, there's always an Ask Us or a Help button where you can kind of get instant answers for some of the most common things that people ask us. So have a look through there. You can also kind of search for things. And if you can't find the answer, then you can send an email to our support team and we're happy to get back to you. We also, it's also worth looking at the tutorials. So we've just put some new tutorials into the app. So if you want to set up and go through a very easy video, you can watch a video in terms of how to set up Untied Pro in your browser. So this is a 2.5 minute video, just a bit longer, on there too. And we have other ones too. So if you want to know how do I tag transactions, or you've been watching the video and you missed a bit with these videos will show you how to add receipts, how to edit transactions, how to untag transactions if you need to, and how to add manual transactions. All the things we've talked about today. Yeah. We've got videos for each one of those. So you just click on those and they are like a minute long and they're really quick and really, really helpful.
Alrighty, listen to that, guys. That is absolutely perfect. With about, let me look at the calendar. I think with like 10 days left, literally 10 days left, this is your best chance to meet the deadlines. And on top of that, you got a cheeky little discount in the description. And we want to give Paul a big thank you for taking the time out to come in on here, explaining how we can file the taxes in the most efficient way. We really appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys.
Great. Well, thanks for having me, Darren.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
All right, guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe and leave your comments and questions down below. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.